Hi, I'm Raz the Reader. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we read the tarot and foster intuition. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the Seven of Swords. This is from my rider-waite standard tarot deck, and it's also one of the minor arcana cards. The Swords suit is an active suit, and to kind of go over the element, it's an air element, so that's what it represents. Seven is also an active or an odd number in the spectrum of activity, and sevens in general mean truth or consequences, taking responsibilities or not, choices, that kind of thing. So to touch today a little bit on the textbook or divinatory meanings, it can mean things like design attempt, wishing and hoping, confidence or lack thereof. There could be a quarrel going on. This card always reminds me of stealth, betrayal, deception, getting away with something. And to me, getting away with something is one of the key ways that I interpret this if I'm looking at the textbook or divinatory meanings. To go on the description a little bit, if you look at the card here, it shows a young man swiftly carrying 5 swords away while he's looking back behind him. He's leaving 2 swords stuck in the ground, and there is a camp nearby or in the background. And so I think that's important to bring up too. And so just kind of looking at this intuitively, if you were just trying to figure out, what this card means in your spread, it can mean a lot of different things. I also feel this card is one of those that reads better in a spread rather than a single card pull, whereas I feel like some of the cards are great, not only with the spread, but even by themselves. But just to go a little further on it, a few ideas about what is going on here with this card if you pulled it. He could be stealing these swords. He's looking around behind him. He's worried somebody might catch him doing something, so it could be that you're worried about catching somebody, or you're worried about somebody catching you doing something, or it could be somebody around you. And it's important to remember the figure in this card is not a knight, and doesn't look like he's battle ready at all or anything like that. In fact, he looks like a very unauthoritative figure holding these swords. The reason I say that, if he doesn't really know what he's doing, and you can tell by the way he's holding the swords with his hand. If that were in real life, there would be a chance of him cutting himself if he was holding them by the blades like that. So that tells me that, he's not grabbing the swords because he's about to go into battle, though, that's just my interpretation here. The cards could also be showing that you're taking something or you're bringing something. And it could be anything, but especially maybe to your life. This could be a material object or even subconscious. It could also mean that you're bringing something or taking something, but you're also leaving something behind. And just to kind of touch quick on a little story here, I did this card, pulled this card during a reading once, and it was a business or work-related question that the querent had. And the way I took it intuitively that day in the spread was that, they were doing pretty well with their business, but they were still leaving some on the table. They were still leaving something behind. They weren't putting in 100% full effort, and whether that was confidence or whether they just hadn't put enough time into it, that's kind of how I took it that day, just to kind of give an example of it in a spread. But yeah, it also could be that there is a battle about to break out. There could be someone or an army approaching this camp that's in the card, and so he's stealthily trying to arm himself or maybe the other people in his camp really quickly and hastily, and doesn't really know what he's doing. And so those are just some of the things that I wanted to talk about today with the Seven of Swords. And again, this card, the meanings may seem all over the place, but it definitely depends on where it is in the spread. But if you were just pulling it, single-handedly, I think, just a one-card pull, I think that would be some of the things that I would take from it. But anyway, thanks a lot, and please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps me trying to build this new YouTube channel. Also in the comments, if you have anything to add about this card or anything interesting that you found with this card, please go ahead and put it down there in the comments. And like I always say, look at the textbook meanings of these cards, but let's always try to read intuitively. All right, I'll see you on the next ride.